Welcome back to the Iron Insight. Thank you for starting your week off right with the Iron Insight every Monday morning at 4 a.m. I'm Bryn Welds,
And I'm Andrew Nichols with Southern Leatherworks.
and today we're sitting down with Safe Journey, which we met at Fabtech. Was that your first Fabtech?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
Yes.
But I knew you from before from the Weld app, I think, the Weld.com app.
Yes. Yep.
Right. But that was our first time meeting in person at the Markall booth, I remember.
Yeah. I saw you off the side. I was like, oh, I got to run over there real quick.
How far are you away from Orlando?
About 2.5 hours south.
Oh, that's not too bad.
South, okay.
3 hours,
Yeah.
maybe 3 hours, with traffic.
So you're down. I mean, you're way down there.
Yeah, like Palm
Yeah.
Beach County.
Yeah, Palm. Yeah, right down there. Huh.
We do a lot of work out in Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Yep. Yeah, I'm up here in Ocala, so I'm about an hour and a half north of Orlando.
Yep.
So
Okay.
What is
Yeah,
the
and we do some
typical
jobs
work?
up in Orlando every once in a while.
yeah.
What is the typical work you guys kind of do? Because you guys or your shop just bought a Everlast laser, the Red Saber.
Yeah. So we do a lot with like woodworking companies, cabinetry, closets, things like that, multi-million-dollar homes. They always want some kind of shelving of some sort, but it's going to be made out of something really good, like stainless.
Huh.
You know,
That's cool. Is it a pretty big company?
no, I think there's only eight of us all together.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, that's real
Yeah, so
small. Yeah.
it's small, but we are pretty much growing. I would say since I started a couple years ago, we gained a couple guys, 3 or 4 guys.
How'd you get into welding?
I started back in '95, high school. I
Okay.
was a freshman. Yeah, part of my school was like you had your choice. You can do college prep or you can do vocational. And yeah, I chose vocational. And then you
That's
kind
how
of
it was for me
choose.
as well.
Yeah, the way the school was set up was kind of cool. They kind of changed it up a bit, but it was like you spend like a quarter, you go through all your shops, and then you pick your top 3, and then they put you in usually your top choice. And,
That sounds
yeah,
exactly the same setup as mine.
yeah. I don't know. Did you guys do a co-op also? You guys have like where you go to school, but then you go to work?
Yeah. We just did apprenticeships, and then it was cool because I was working at a grocery store before, and then I got into a welding shop from the high school, and I was making a lot more money than I was at the grocery store, but
Yeah.
also that counted for credits as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was,
because mine, I actually started doing HVAC work.
mm,
I didn't really go to school for my senior year. It was 2 classes, and I'd leave, and I went right to work. And that was the
same,
way the
yep.
school kind of set it up.
And
And I
then,
just stayed. I just stayed within it for a while.
was there any welders in your family before, or
No,
did you just love that through the school?
no.
And then,
I had an older brother. He did machine shop, and I thought for sure that's kind of what I was going to do. But yeah, the teacher didn't really care for me in a sense, and I flew past everybody in the class. I think just because I knew things from my brother.
Mhm.
So it's kind of boring. And then I don't know, the metal fabrication class. I don't know, something about it drew me to it. I have no idea why. But yeah, no. But my dad does. He did culinary in high school, I think it was, because he was a baker for a bit, and then he does injection molding.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
The shop I work at is a plastic injection mold shop, is what it started as, and then now there's 2 of us welders, just
Okay.
pretty much custom fab and doing repairs for the mold guys. But we have a stationary laser through like a microscope.
Yep.
Um, I think that's pretty cool, but I haven't tried the Everlast laser welder yet. And I saw on your story you're the one to set it up at the shop, right?
Yeah. So I'm stuck setting it up, kind of. I don't even know if I'm going to be the one that's really using it at the shop, but I'm going to have to set it up. But yeah, we just opened it up yesterday.
Nice.
So I got to go through. I'm getting some consumables. I got to get a list together.
And you got a regular TIG welder too, right?
Yeah,
From Everlast?
the boss ended up picking up a Power TIG 250, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Have you played with that at all?
No, actually, I just got some carts. He needed carts, so he asked me to order up some carts. So I picked out some carts.
Nice.
So when the carts come in, We're going to throw it on the cart. Then I'll finish setting that up because I'm sure he's going to have me set that up. And then, yeah, I would love to play with it because I've been itching to try an Everlast welder. I haven't tried Everlast welders.
Oh, man. We should have got you in the booth at Fabtech.
I'm surprised I never put myself in there.
Yeah, they had plenty of machines to try.
Yeah.
They had some good stuff set up.
Yeah, I was watching them doing some titanium stuff. I'm like, just never, yeah.
And that booth is going to be bigger next year, too. When we first went in 2022, I think, Andrew?
Yeah, it was 22. Yep.
Everlast had, was it a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20?
I think it was a 20. Was it 20 by? I think it was 20 by 20. Yeah. Yep.
And then in Chicago they had a 30 by 30. This past year was a 40 by 40, and they're going even bigger next year. So it's pretty wild how fast. I mean, I don't know. I know the relative cost of a booth. I think it was like $1,000 per square foot.
It was 140. It was only like it was 147 a square foot, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on where they was at, because Chicago would be way more expensive. Because not only in Chicago do you have to pay for that, but you got to pay for the union Teamsters to unload your stuff, and there's way more cost in it than just the booth. So, it's unbelievable. You got to pay the union guys to plug in the machines. Like, you're not even allowed to plug them in yourself. It's wild, really wild. So it's expensive.
But once you find the right one to bribe, I think you're good.
Yeah, no kidding. They don't care. They just want to get paid.
But do you plan on? So this was your first Fabtech. Really, what did you expect going in, and what did you think of it when you were there?
I like the size of it. I don't know. I was pretty much what I was expecting. I don't think I was like not expecting certain things, but it was cool. I'm very hyper, so for me to sit still and really stare and look was really hard, especially since there's so much to look at. I'm like a 4-year-old child, stuck in a toy section. But it was like the second day I was able to calm down a little bit more to actually look at the products and actually really talk to some of the guys. So, yeah, it got a little bit better for me as far as that went, but yeah, it was pretty much what I was expecting.
Did you go to the other halls that you had to walk far to?
Yeah, I went through both. The first day I spent a couple hours over in the other area. We actually got a table laser from Bodor, I think the name is the company. So I was over there talking with them, and then I got to use their laser welder for a little while. I spent some time over there, and then we got a press brake last year. Sedan, I think is the company. So I was just looking at some of their stuff because they happen to be on that side.
Yeah, I didn't make it over there this year or, no, actually I did last year, but yeah. It being in Orlando was super, like the best out of Chicago and Atlanta, yeah.
I mean, I keep hearing everybody say that.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing too. I haven't been to the Chicago one, so
I think
that'll be interesting.
Chicago's is way bigger, but just Orlando, like the venues for the after party events were great. The Arcs and Ales, you remember that, Andrew? Arcs and Ales?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I was in Chicago. It was a nightmare. It was way too packed, but that venue was perfect. Super open, pretty big, good fish sandwich, but.
Good fish sandwich.
Because other than that, they had like that slider in it. I didn't think it was that good, but
yeah, no, well, yeah, I don't even think I ate.
But did you get to meet what was it like for you to meet people that you had already known of online, but finally put a face to the name?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess heights. I guess I guess the physical look of person. Because you sometimes you see people and then you don't see people, and you just see their work more. So I guess that aspect is kind of cool. I think it's cool. I think it's it can make the what you're looking into. I guess my inspiration towards the person. I guess it emphasizes it more, because maybe they're doing something and they're a little short, and then you're seeing now that they are actually really short in the things that they do. You're like, okay, that's pretty impressive.
He's talking about Harrison Stone.
Yeah. I thought the same thing too. We were sitting on the pool deck at the Edge House, and we're sitting there, and then Harrison walks in with Lugo from Everlast, and I was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's Harrison Stone." He's a lot shorter than I thought he would be. Same thing with Stan Sherwin for me. I don't know if you know Stan Sherwin. I'm sure you do, but he walked up. What was that?
He's not too far from me.
Yeah. I was about to say he is very close to you. Then
I didn't know he was so close. And the company he works for, D'Angelo, one of the guys I work with, actually worked for D'Angelo also. And I didn't know.
Another guy.
So it's pretty wild. Yeah, he's not too far. He's kind of down the street.
Yeah.
You got Stan Sherwin, and then Welds by Zen as well. He moved there from Arizona. He's a big. He's really nice on a TIG torch, but he's really good with the MIG-like TIG style. And, he used to do off-roading parts. So they were super cosmetic about how the welds looked.
Yeah. Like a lot of open joint sheet metal welding. I mean, he was really good at it.
He got offered a position at a place called Hobby Shop Garage down there, and they just build like crazy cars. Which he was calling me. He was like, "I have no clue anything about cars. I don't know nothing about cars, but this place wants me just to weld, and then they'll teach me." And he ended up making that move all the way from Arizona to Florida.
Has such a long ways to go.
There's a lot of money in Florida.
Yeah.
That's like one thing.
Willing to spend it.
We had Stan Sherwin on the podcast, and I would have never expected, the kind of money that goes into the parts that he's making but he was saying like super yachts and stuff like that. I just never would have guessed that.
Yeah, and I can only imagine some of what he does, because I did a little bit of work on some of the yachts down here, and the amount of money that is invested in those things is insane. I do like working though without shoes on. I will say that. Because most yachts you wear shoes, so it's actually kind of comfortable. I feel very comfortable not having shoes on.
Do you know a lot of the people that you do your work for in these multi-million-dollar houses with the custom cabinetry and whatnot?
Well, I don't know. So I worked for a company down here from like 2006 to 2016, and apparently during that time I had a reputation. I built a reputation for from that company, and from some of the people that are the cabinet companies that do this stuff for all these millionaires. So they kind of like stick with certain builders. They're pretty picky about it, because some of these contractors, they really want their stuff to be certain specs. So now we're starting to get more companies that used to work with the company I used to work for. Because when I left that company, they pretty much liquidated within 4 years. I was their only employee, so it was just me and the two owners. So all these companies were trying to wonder what happened to me, and then what happened to the company. And then I ended up moving back down here. And now all these companies are starting to come back in. So some of them I'm starting to know more face-to-face. It's more emails, going to more meetings. It's I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm running my own company.
Right.
Else's.
Have you ever thought about doing it on your own?
Oh yeah, I'm trying.
There you go.
Now, actually,
what kind of things are you doing on your own?
I get a little bit of side work from work, as far as like even from the boss. Sometimes he's like, here, you can take this one. Just let me know what you want for the labor. And he does things that way. But now it's kind of like, I don't know. I have an idea that I want to do with my artwork. I want a gallery. I have a certain vision now because of some of the things that I'm seeing what I can do with it. And there's that one TIG artist. He passed away, Matthias, I believe.
Oh yeah, Matthias, bro.
Yeah, like rest in peace. Like he's one of my biggest inspirations. Like the size of the things that he was doing and the caliber that he was like. I want that. I want to go bigger. So I look at like the table that I work on every day, and I'm like, I want a piece this big, and I can do this, I can do that. The things that I could do with the patina, and I think what you can do with patina, as far as like mixing that in with welding, I think I just think you can go further with it. I just think you do cooler things, signs. I want to do some like bring it into like more cabinetry stuff, household, maybe your workshops.
And when it comes to clock out, what's some things you like to do outside of the shop?
Disc golf, rollerblade.
Yeah, Bryn told me you were killer on a set of rollerblades.
Yeah, the rollerblade is what I was expecting for the answer.
That's where all my traveling, all the traveling I did was all skating. That's I pretty much lived and breathed.
That's funny.
Skating. I started skating when I started welding back in '95. It was like it started in X Games, and I've had pretty much a pair of rollerblades since then. But I've traveled a lot. I have a lot of friends that are pros. Yeah.
You competed in the X Games? I
didn't compete in no X Games.
Oh.
No.
Gotcha.
But I did judge some of the like they would have like kind of like a semifinal thing to get into the X Games and in the regions. So I used to judge those every time it was in our region. They pay you $200, give you food vouchers.
That's sweet. But yeah, you posted it on your story once, like right after Fabtech, I think, of you rollerblading, and I was like, this is the shit I want to see instead of welding all day, because my whole page I'm just watching welds all day, so it was a nice break.
Yeah. I try to get out more and more, but I used to skate 4 days a week, maybe 5 days a week. I was going out. That was it. As soon as I clocked out, I was skating. Even when I was clocked in, it was like I was thinking skating. Like, yeah. But now it's kind of, in the last few years, it's more work. What do I want to do with that, and go from there. But skating, right. I still need to skate. I'm actually itching to skate now. Like I'm trying to see if I can do a thing where I can go out every Sunday, just for the exercise. There's so many skate spots next to me, and I just want to make some of my friends jealous because they haven't it, and I know they're really good spots. So yeah, and just kind of tell them that I'm not going to tell them where it is.
Sounds like fishing for me.
I like fishing. I go fishing.
If I lived anywhere near an ocean, I'd love it too.
It's fun. Massachusetts is where I'm from. I did a lot of fishing last time I was up home. It was like every weekend I was going out fishing. And it was all freshwater, bass, pike, trout, whatever. Then come down here, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to go catch some bass, this and that. And then the first year for the company I work for, they ended up getting us a whole charter. It was like an 8-hour charter for all the guys in the company to go out in a charter. I got a giant ass freaking amberjack. It's pretty wild. It took like 30 minutes to reel the freaking thing in. I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like 8 miles off the coast.
Yeah, those are fun ones.
It was a lot of fun.
I was in the Virgin Islands in July, and I got we chartered a deep sea boat, and I wanted swordfish, but all I caught was a tuna, and my brother caught some too. But we freaking rode by Epstein Island. That's where all the swordfish are, is what they say. Is what the captain said.
No floating kids?
No, none of that there. But it's not far at all. And it's weird, like an island like that, you wouldn't expect, the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, not Epstein, but you wouldn't expect how many new vehicles there was. I mean, it was all brand new Tacomas and Rivians, pretty much.
Dang.
But
those aren't cheap.
Yeah. What was that previous shop that you worked in for 10 years, you said, from 06 to 16?
No, that was called Ram Sheet Metal. We did mostly like kitchen equipment. I built a lot of kitchen equipment. Any Miller Ale House
no kidding.
that you go to, so if you go to Miller's Ale House.
Really? Well, yeah, we got one here in Ocala, and I love eating there.
Yeah, okay, so pretty much everything in the back kitchen, dish tables, the dishwasher, from clean side, dirty side is definitely me. The 2 bays, the 3 bay sinks are all me. Everything done in that entire kitchen is me. The bar itself, the bar top, the stainless bar top.
That's super cool.
Taps. The little, you go in the back where the pass-through window would be. Normally, I would do the frame, and then the other guy that I worked with, he did the actual shelf. Man, some of the waitress stations I did. Otherwise, that was kind of his thing. And then the little 4 cabinets that would be in the front, I did those. Yeah, any of the cabinets underneath the bar, I did all of it. Yeah, that company I worked for, I did probably 80% of what that company pulled out for 10 years. And
that's crazy.
I left mainly because it was just like, what was your plan? I was the only guy there, and I was kind of tired of working by myself.
No, it makes sense.
Lifting everything, yeah. And I was just kind of tired, and I was like, either hire somebody or let me know what's going on. Just let me know what's going on. So I kind of got fed up and left.
Yeah. But you're liking this shop now? Did you convince them to look into the Everlast welders?
Yeah, actually, when I first got there, he asked me what I wanted for a table. Because he was just starting to kind of like grow when I got there. Because when I got there, kind of really did expand the sheet metal capabilities, the fabrication there. I do a lot of fabrication, so I was able to expand that. So we got a brand new table. Well, I got a 4x8 table. He asked me what kind of welder. I told him Everlast, and in the meantime, I brought my welder there, and I have the Multimatic 220, and I think for some reason he liked it, so he ended up just buying that. It was kind of a sad face for me because I was kind of hoping he was going to do Everlast, so I could at least try Everlast. My thing is like the way it starts off. I just think Everlast seems to have a softer start, and it's not so like boom. Where Miller's kind of snappier, I think. But anyway, yeah. So he ended up doing that, but I kept talking about Everlast. I'm like, dude, look at the warranties. I'm like, come on. I was like, you're going to be in a 5-year warranty. I was like, and they're getting better. I was like, they're just better machines. They're just getting better and getting better and getting better. It's like, might as well. Just go for it. So, yeah, a couple of years.
Put you on the Typhoon.
Yeah, I do want a Typhoon.
Me too. There was a guy that commented on my Facebook post. What did he say? He said, man, I want a Typhoon so bad. And I said, me too, brother. I'm right there with you.
Me too, man.
Yeah. I tell you, this laser, though, seems pretty cool, too.
Sure looks cool.
And just pulling everything out. It's pretty nice. I will say it's definitely pretty nice.
I think
the tips, because I noticed like even with the tips, you got like a tip that kind of do 2 tips that does flat, but they also each do an inside corner and an outside corner. And then there's like another tip that you can kind of do some flat, and it does mostly just outside corners. So I thought it was kind of interesting that you can switch out your tips. Some glass ones would be really cool.
Yeah. I don't know if they are, but I would assume Edge is probably trying to reach for that side of the industry.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they kind of showcased a lot of robotic glass cups and whatnot at Fabtech this year, but I would assume they have no reason not to kind of get into that side. But the thing about the Everlast laser welder that I like, that I would value the most, is a lot of our material. We have a super small shop, so a lot of our material just sits outside and rusts here in Nebraska, in the snow.
That's what.
So like the cleaning side to the Everlast welder would be nice.
Yeah, so that's what I would like this thing to be used more for in our shop, because like we do a lot of shelves, and just the way the cabinetry goes, the way the intricate. I'm trying to see how well you can really get in there to do any of the welds, where I think you're going to have to use an actual TIG torch to do it.
Right.
But the cleaning side, so we do also like with restaurants, we'll do like the canopy above the bar where they hang the bottles and stuff. And some of the stuff that we do, they'll come in with, it'll be like powder coated or something. So we just make it out of steel. And unlike me, sometimes the boss don't like how much I clean my stuff. Those guys, they sit there and they leave the mill scale on there, and then they'll wipe right over it all, and then you see nothing but undercut through it. And I'm like, can you imagine just hanging that? The guys that are hanging it, somebody else, they're banging it, they're shaking it around. You have that plate, it's twisting, it's moving, and then all of a sudden, 2 years down the road, everybody's hanging bottles on it. You get the short people behind the bar that are stretching and pulling on it, and this and that, and they're trying to clean it. It's like, and it breaks, falls on someone's head. But yeah, I like it how that will clean. Hopefully our shop will start getting things clean and proper and nice.
Jesse from Everlast, he would send me videos of him messing around with it when it was in like prototyping and development, and he'd be like blasting the paint off of a Coke can.
He was doing some wicked stuff
wild.
with it.
That's wild. I mean, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Definitely is. Yeah.
There's a lot of guys in my shop that don't speak English, so this is going to be really interesting. And some it's even their first time using a microwave.
Oh my gosh.
So,
wow.
Yeah. One of our guys, he tried putting a steel bottle in a microwave.
Well, that would have been fun.
Not going to happen, buddy. Yeah.
He needs to see my TikTok video.
Yeah.
I never bring a bowl to work, but I had a can of SpaghettiOs.
I think it was ravioli.
And I made this little tube that I would just lay a couple aluminum MIG welds on the side of it, set my can of ravioli in there perfectly, put a top on, and then 30 minutes before lunch I would do that. And
that thing was boiling, dude. I don't know how it didn't blow up. Holy crap. Thing was hot. I was like, there's no way he's eating that. That thing's lava coming out of there. Oh,
no,
man.
I did eat it, but people commented like, man, there's a plastic lining inside of there. And then some people would comment back like, the FDA made them take that plastic lining out of the inside of the can so-and-so years ago. And I was like, man, I have no idea.
It was good.
Was it good? Was it good? It was good. Okay.
Yeah, it was good, but I was a little bit worried when they said that. So I quit doing it. But
yeah. I mean, I like my spot at the shop where I'm at now. I do like my spot now. It's more all me. I have a TV in my toolbox. So, yeah, I'll put movies on. I watch a lot of Xena, Warrior Princess. That's a fun show to just throw on. Everybody likes watching and coming in, checking out the shows.
You got a TV in your toolbox?
Yeah, that I got it mounted.
Oh, yeah, you got a good setup then.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I even bought a toaster oven. I don't use microwaves personally, so I bought
Absolutely.
a toaster oven for myself.
That's a way better way to do it. If I could, toaster oven would definitely be the way to go.
Yeah, actually, I think it was the Halloween one, the Halloween day that I did for that TIG art challenge thing I did. I went in that morning, and in just 2 hours, I did that. I made my coffee, and I made 2 egg and cheese sandwiches before I clocked in and cleaned up. I don't know how, but I was able to accomplish that in one day. I was like, okay, this is cool. 2 hours.
How many days did you do for that TIG art challenge?
It's 30. 30 days straight.
Straight of TIG art, a piece a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wild. What do you buy the polished stainless steel, or do you polish it yourself?
No, so we do a lot of mirror stainless at work, and we have a lot of scrap. Bosses like, take it, so I take it.
Dude, that's the best boss ever. Take the scrap. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is clutch.
And I have, I think it's 3 more pieces left. They're like 20 by 20 pieces. But we had one full sheet. It was like a 4 by 10 sheet, and it had a ding in it, and we couldn't use it. And he was pretty mad because this was like the 3rd sheet we got in, and each one was kind of ruined in some way, and we had to get this job done. So I go, well, what do you want to do? You want to save it? I can cut it so we can still save pieces. He goes, no, just take it. Like, heck yeah.
You're dang right, I will.
Full sheet, I'll take it.
Heck yeah.
So that's where a lot of it comes from. A lot of it came from that one sheet.
That's awesome.
Sure.
That's crazy. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, I understand because it's big clients and super critical stuff, but
usually I'm willing to pay for it too. I'll tell him I'll buy the sheet off you. I don't care. I'll pay the price. He's like, no, just whatever. I'm like, okay, it's up to you, man. That and he has a whole bunch of. It's like a job he did years ago, and it never went through. He ended up buying 2 by 3 1/8-inch wall stainless, like 20-foot lengths tubing. He's like, use it for whatever you want. And there's 50
jeez.
Oh shit! And then he's got these 3/4 by 1/2-inch stainless bars, and those are freaking 20 feet long or 15 feet long. He's like, use that. And there's 50 of them, almost 100 of them in a box. It's like, okay. So most of my stuff that I'm framing, I'm
absolutely
framing with that.
That's gangster. When did you get into the TIG art?
A year ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a lot throughout my time, just throughout the years. Right. And I just never really try anything of it. And then one day I was just like, the heck with it. I had a plate. I was like, I'm just going to try something. So I started messing with it. The guys at work started liking it. Yeah. No, I really like it.
What size filler rod do you run with it?
Usually 045.
I think that's what. We had another guy on that does it too. Welding.
Yeah, I mean, mostly I did the recent one I did with Oak City Skate Shop. That was all 035 wire. And it's mostly all weave. I was just practice.
Damn. Huh. Yeah, the TIG art's pretty cool. Have you ever gotten into like the 3D almost salvage metal art, like scrap into a piece?
No, I haven't tried it. I have an idea that's kind of not so much the scrap put together, but actually doing like a 3-dimensional, like actual sculpted something within a piece. Yeah, I was trying to do something with one of the 30 days. I know Dabs Wellington. He makes those little guys.
Yeah,
they're so cool. I kind of tried to do one of those little guys, and then I tried to put them inside one of the pieces. I tried doing one of those 3-dimensional type of artwork pieces or whatever, and I tried to put the guy in there, make them a little bit more 3-dimensional by sticking out of the piece itself. And I'm trying to mess with some things like this.
Yeah, when we were at Fabtech, and Brian Legalio, he's actually down there too in Florida.
Yeah, he's more in like Bradenton, Tampa area. So,
but he's an instructor, and he was setting up I want to say it was the MTS 225, and he did one of those little guys out of aluminum, just real fast, and then made him hold the filler rod like this. The little
that's
guy,
so cool.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Wow.
Yeah,
those little guys are really hard. That's really hard. I want to do it again. I definitely want to do it again.
I've never tried one, but I'd imagine it's pretty hard. Yeah. But
I had to look. I wasn't sure if he does it off the piece itself or if he does it as its own little thing. Because I did it on a piece of aluminum. I started with like a little ball, dropping a ball off a piece of filler rod, and was just trying to build a character off of that. So I don't know how he really did it.
With your own business, what kind of work do you think you would want to specialize in? Would it be this custom cabinetry too?
Yeah. I think I'd say if you look at who was it Lamborghini, I think it was, or Ferrari, how they say they don't do their commercials. That's not who they're really advertising towards. So like with the multi-million-dollar homes that I do work in, like I try to advertise towards that venue.
You guys go install it as well?
What's that?
Do you guys go install your own work too?
What do you mean? Do we?
As in the multi-million-dollar house, would you be the one to go install it as well?
Yeah, I do. I have done the installs. I don't like doing installs. I hate doing installs. I'll tell you. I don't really care for the installs. If somebody else would go and do the installs, that's fine. Which is why I don't mind working with like these cabinet companies itself, because they do a lot of the installs. Because a lot of stuff is like built into their stuff. Sometimes they'll send us even though I got some drawers coming in. I have to actually go around the drawers with stainless, and then I have to remake the drawers out of stainless. So we get things like that. I'd rather not do the install, but yeah, we'll do the installs. And even in those homes, which is pretty wild because it's like ID after ID after ID. Yeah. Rudy Giuliani. I made an outdoor barbecue for that guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he had a thing in Miami, a little home in Miami, and they had to get like craned up for his outdoor balcony. I think it's like on my page, but it's like real early. It's like this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was like made with like these little buttons, had a whole oven thing in there and everything. Yeah, grill. It's pretty sweet.
What draws you to that side of the industry when it comes to your own business, to stay in that side?
It's not easy. I did a little bit of structural, and I just thought it was like easy, the fabricating. I like to fabricate. I like bending stuff. I like folding stuff. I like to figure it out, how to make it, and then make it. So if I can fold a piece of metal without having to weld it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite part of having a bender is I'm going to bend that piece and I don't have to weld it.
Yeah, and sometimes, I don't know, I think it's that, and I think it's because I know I'm pretty good at it. I think I'm pretty good at it. There's things that I tell my boss that I can bend it, and he'll just look at me like, no, we can't bend this in the shop. I'm like, okay, whatever. If you don't think so, don't think so. I know I can bend it. So if somebody else comes to me on my own side, then yeah, I'll tell them I'm going to bend it, and I'll bend it, and I'll show them how it's done. I don't know. Yeah, I like the fabricating. I like how hard it is. I like the figuring out radiuses. We do a lot of scrolling stuff. Yeah, I like the math. It's like drawing.
Did you ever see that stainless steel globe that I built?
Globe? I don't think so.
Oh man! All right, I'll send it to you after.
You have to. Yeah.
It's a 12-foot stainless steel globe for the local VFW, and it's all 1/4-inch wall tubing, 1/4-inch plates. The continents were. And only the base is thicker than 1/4-inch, but that was something we struggled with, rolling the continent to fit the globe perfectly. And then the way that we made the globe itself, because it's just round tubes going up and then round tubes going horizontal. But when we put the vertical ones on, or my coworker did, he put the vertical tubes on, and he would weld the top a little bit, weld the top over here to tack it, just weld the top, weld the top, weld the top. But there was so much tension on them that at one point, like 3 of them just fucking came, like snapped off and just went wham and slammed onto the ground around it. And then I was inside of the globe welding the continents to the tube, and my coworker was also like, because there's only 2 of us welders, and he said, he was like, hey, I got to go to the other shop real quick. Are you coming out, or are you going to stay in there? And I was like, all right, I'm going to stay in here. And we had 4x4 wood pieces holding the globe at the base from rolling, but he also had to hold on to the globe from the outside because it was taller than our crane. And so I'm pretty much in this huge hamster ball, and he was like, I got to go to the other building. You want to get out? And I was like, nah, I'm going to keep going. And at one point, I was welding and had stepped up one horizontal tube too high, and it offset the balance. I rolled. If we had the crane hooked up, even though it didn't really do anything, only if it rolled, it would have held it back like a harness, kind of. If that crane was not hooked up, I would have went onto the highway in the stainless steel fucking hamster ball.
I mean, it kind of
that would have been hilarious.
Well, it's a good story. It's a great story.
They didn't let me have the security camera footage, but it was funny. But I don't know. I got pretty lucky that my arms and all my legs stayed inside of the tube, because if I went through one of these like 2x2 rectangles in the side and fucking rolled over my arm, it would not have been good. We had to rent a forklift we used a telehandler to move it, and we had to get a lowboy trailer just to move it down the street.
Man, I've seen some accidents. I'm pretty lucky I haven't had anything serious ever. So
I've been pretty lucky. I'm still early into the industry, or in my career, but I haven't seen anything yet.
And sometimes I get ballsy and I just say, screw it. I have only one scared image, I think, in my head. And it was inside this home. It was like a regular kitchen hood, and it was kind of small, but I was able to get in there, and I had to actually cut a little piece out, but I had to get my head and my neck in there with the cut right here. And I was cutting in a reverse. So it would have, if it caught, it would have just jammed back. And it was just one of those things I just said, yeah, screw it. I'm just going to do it. But that's the only thing I have in my head as far as a scared image. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, if this goes wrong, this is going to go very, very wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be...
Yep.
Were you the only one in there?
There was one other guy I was working with, but even then, he wouldn't have known what to do. No.
Damn, dude.
No, these guys are quick. No. It would have been
Sometimes,
a neck slice, whatever. But
I'm almost more worried about somebody walking into the shop while I have my hood down and I'm the only one in there, because Sunbelt Rentals. So the shop that we're in used to be a Sunbelt Rentals for, I don't know if you guys have that down there.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Do you have that? Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people, it's been like 8 years since it was Sunbelt Rentals, but a lot of people still come in and ask if it is Sunbelt Rentals, and they'll walk through our break room. That's the front door is our break room, and then the shop side, I'm all the way in the back, and I'll lift up my hood, and there's somebody right behind me or next to me waiting to ask me if this is Sunbelt Rentals. But a lot of the times when I'm the only one in there, I'm like, shit, dude, I could get smacked in the back of the head with my hammer laying on my bench right there before I even knew.
See, I put a little curtain up for my room, which really blocks everybody off, and I like it because it keeps people away from me. I can just do my own thing. But the only thing that I don't like is when they come walking in, because they just blast it open really quick. If I have my hood down, I'm in just this little spot, and all of a sudden it's like you hear this thing, you're like, what the heck just happened? Yeah. That I don't really care for. That and the blast of wind, because I have good control over my wind in the room. I don't mind sweating. If I don't have to have my argon blowing away from me, I'm happy. I don't care. I'll sweat.
Yeah. That's another thing that's super rare up here is climate control.
Yeah, you're spoiled. Yeah, you got climate control shop.
I'm spoiled.
Yeah. I put an AC unit in my room, but it's not fully hooked up. So I have to have like an exhausting out the back. Otherwise it kind of free transfers heat back in.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
It almost, our shop is so small, as soon as you open the overhead door, all your climate control is on right away. So like right now where there's snow on the ground, it sucks when anybody opens that door. Like
we have zero AC, and then of course in the summer it's blasting hot. But everybody's got fans going and fans, and they go every which way, and I'm like, I need to be in this circle because you TIG and I need that gas, especially for the mirror. Yeah. I do almost all the mirror stainless in our shop, so anything that's done with mirror stainless. And
I've never. Well, oh yeah, I have, because you can order a kit from a company called I'm blanking.
Yeah, there it is.
Welding online. They did a collaboration with Dabs where they already have it's like a 4x4 little square just to try out TIG art, and I tried one of those. I warped the piss out of it.
I got two of them. I bought two of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought the little tiki head. I did that one, and then it was I welded. I held it. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think I did the F-bomb one, but I warped it like crazy.
I think it all warps. Everything warps.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me about that, and I haven't had one. Well, I can't say I haven't, but if I keep it on my plate for like a month, it's flat. But if it's not on the plate for that long, everything I have is warped. Every single one. I do a lot of 19 gauge though too. I see a lot of guys on 11 gauge, which is really pretty thick.
Yeah, that's expensive stainless too. Oh my gosh.
I have two pieces aside. Like if we use it for the shop, we use it for the shop. That's the other thing. When I take the metal, I keep it in this one corner.
Yeah,
so
sure.
If we need pieces, they're there if we need them for the shop. So I do have two pieces, and it's like 1/4 inch, and that's I kind of want to do an illusion 3-dimensional type of deal. I see this guy drawing on YouTube, and he does this thing where it's like, he drew like a staircase, and it looks like it's an actual 3-dimensional staircase that comes off, but it's actually just on a piece of paper. So I kind of want to do the same thing, or try to do the same thing, but on a piece of metal.
Well, we got about 45 minutes of good footage. Here's something we ask every guest before we end the show. What is your favorite genre of music to listen to while you work or weld?
Music. I'd say right now it's going to have to be like meditation music, like the different hertz, all that stuff. I even got some like Nordic chanting music. Dean Evenson is actually one of my favorite composers as far as that. If it's not that, then it's punk, rockabilly, that type of music.
Huh. Well,
I like
we appreciate you.
calm.
Yeah. I saw. Well, if you're TIG welding 95% of the time, I think that's what your Instagram says.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, my boss gives me something to make. I'm like, yeah, no, you can give it to this guy. Or I'll take it. Or I just take it behind his back and say, here.
Well, when you're good with what you do, you can do that.
Yeah, and it's already set up, I mean, might as well.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. To all the listeners, Everlast link in the bio. If you order through that, you get the upgraded Nova torch and foot pedal free of additional charge. Edge Welding Cups code BRINWELDS 10 or 15. I can't remember. It says it in the description if you order through that link as well, the Edge Welding Cups link.
And you can check out Southern Leatherworks at southernleatherworks.net and then Southern Leatherworks on all social media platforms. We sell custom welding hoods and other really nice leather goods. Thank you so much, Soph Journey, for coming on and talking to us about what you do. And next time I go into my local Miller's Ale House, I'll get into the back kitchen and see some of your work. So
check it out.
And Safe Journey's Instagram profile will also be linked in the show notes. Check him out.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.